Hello and welcome to another video in this Google Workspace series. In this video, we're going to explore 3 AI tools available now within our Google Workspace license. The first tool is Gemini within Classroom. Now, Gemini within Classroom is a really easy way or an easy introduction to using AI as part of your teaching and learning resources. Google Classroom hasn't changed its appearance as such, but what you will notice is on the left-hand side, you will now see this little icon with a blue dot notifying you that it's new, and it's Gemini within Classroom. By clicking on this tab, it will take you to this window where it gives you over 30 options to develop teaching and learning resources using Gemini within Classroom. Some of these are generate a quiz, which generates a quiz using Google Forms, creating rubrics for assessment, creating vocabulary lists, writing stories, even crafting a compelling hook and creating jigsaw activities. You can click on the Show More button, and it also gives you the option to translate any text or even draft a school newsletter or a class newsletter. Each of these options will provide you with different prompt instructions. Just to show you what create a rubric looks like, it will give you things like the target year, performance level, which means how many levels within that rubric you want to see. And it will also allow you to upload documents from Google Drive as well that you maybe want to use as part of your rubric. All of these are given just so that in traditional AI, generative AI tools, it's usually just a blank prompt box. And building prompts is a really important skill to get the most out of an AI engine. So what this does within Google Classroom is it just gives you a little bit more structure to your prompts. It allows you to input the information that AI needs to generate the file or the resource that you are wanting. It all builds in really nicely as well to Google Classroom because once you've created a resource, a rubric, for example, in this case, it will simply save to your Google Drive and it will link into Google Classroom either through assigning a material or an assignment to your class. So nice and easy to share the resources that you create. The second of the 3 tools now available to all staff is Google's Gemini. Very similar to Microsoft's Copilot, which staff have had access to for a few months now. Google's Gemini is again a generative AI tool available through our Workspace license. Now, Gemini acts very similarly to Copilot in the sense that there's a blank prompt box that you can ask Gemini to create any teaching and learning resources. The only difference being is that what Gemini will be able to do now is export that to some of the document resources available in Google Workspace. For example, if you asked it to create you a quiz, it will be able to generate that quiz and export it into Google Forms. At the moment, Gemini cannot create slideshows. So if you ask it to make a presentation, it cannot generate a Google slide just yet. But what it does do is it gives you all the information related to a slide deck for you to be able to copy and paste into a Google Slides yourself. Another couple of features that Gemini has is you obviously have the blank prompt box here. You can upload documents from your drive as well if you wanted to use that document to create a resource. But the tools button is really interesting. So guided learning is a tool that allows educators to create teaching and learning resources more specifically. Deep research is a bit more timely in a sense that it takes a little bit longer to research a topic that you want lots and lots of information from. This generally takes a little bit longer to generate the information because it's doing some deep research. There's also an image generation, which is similar to that image generator available in Adobe Express. But what we have noticed from using the generative AI image tool in Gemini is that these images are often more detailed and often more accurate. And the last option is Google Canvas. And this allows you to build your own applications. I'm going to show you a couple of examples of what I've used Gemini to create. I can go over to my menu button here, and if I scroll down, I'm just going to show you one of the storybook options, which is available in the menu at the top. You've got storybook, an IDL planner, and also gems, which we'll explore in a later video. But the storybook option allows you to create animated storybooks for learners based on a prompt that you give. So I've asked it to generate me a story for 5-year-olds, introducing them to the idea of using a Chromebook safely. And you can see the images are really effective. It also gives a little insect as a guide here, and it gives the story as well. Even better, the accessibility within Google is always a priority, and not only can you read this story to your class, but you can also listen to the story as well. If we go across just to show you an example of some of the tools we've been using to generate games, is I've created this simple number bond game for primary pupils. So you can see my prompt was to create a game for 10-year-olds to practice number bonds to 20. Really, really vague prompt there. I could have been way more accurate, but as you develop the game and there might be elements that you want to change, you can add your prompts and refine the game as you go. So you can see number bonds to 20, this is what we're working on. We start the game, a number will appear here, slide along, and what the pupil has to do is figure out what the number bond is to 20. So in this case it would be 11, and it gives you a new number. These can be really easily shared. So up in the share button over here, at the minute, this share functionality doesn't go directly to Google Classroom. But what we've been noticing within the digital community is if you have a Google site, you can embed these games really easily into a Google site so pupils can access them and play them really effectively. Just an idea for another element to Gemini, which actually makes it stand out from Copilot as one of the main differences. The final tool I'm going to show you today is called Notebook LM. Now, Notebook LM, unlike any other generative AI tool, it actually acts as a personal research assistant. So it doesn't act the same way as Gemini does or Copilot does, in a sense that you can extract information. It enables you to upload documentation, and it organizes it and makes it much easier for you to understand. So for example, I'm going to use a Learning Connected project, which is a project that we've been putting together for schools related to Chromebooks. I've uploaded a 26-page document in PDF format, and it's given me a short summary. But what it also allows me to do within the Notebook LM Studio is it gives me all of these other options too. So I can create an audio overview, which is fundamentally a podcast. It's hosted by two people, and they discuss the document that you have uploaded to Notebook LM. What's really nice about the podcast is you can actually also interact with it. So if within that podcast you want to ask questions or you want better explanations of certain aspects, you can ask that question via another prompt, and it will change the podcast and update it accordingly. We also have the ability to create a video overview, which takes your documentation and creates a nice slideshow, video slideshow, focusing on all of the aspects of the document that you have uploaded. Just to show you a couple of other things, we also have flashcards, which brings around the flashcard. It also gives you the answer on the back. So if you click the answer, it will give you a nice question and answer directly from the information that you've put up. So all of the answers are all found within this Learning Connected final draft PDF. It doesn't take other information from other sources, it only uses what you've uploaded. It can also create quizzes, reports, and also produce mind maps. The mind maps work really nicely simply because whenever you have a mind map generated, it will allow you to click on different aspects of the mind map and take you directly to the source of that information within the document itself. So you can see here, I've selected one part and it will find all of the information within that document and it will give you all of that information. So it just makes a really long document or a lots of information much more accessible. Part of the plan for Notebook LM is that staff already have access to this, but over the course of the next while, we aim to have this accessible to senior phase pupils as well, because upon consultation with pupils and showing them Notebook LM, it was assessed and confirmed that this would be a really useful tool for revision at senior phase level. All of these tools, all available already within our Google Workspace license. They've all been switched on for staff, so you can explore these in more detail. As I said, this was a video overview of all three of them, but if you want to get in touch with the digital learning team, please feel free and we can give you a little bit more support on how you can use these. Further videos and further support will be available on the Learning Library in the near future. Thank you. I hope that was helpful.